Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me again. My name is Miss L, and today we are talking about being plant based. I don't like to say vegan for myself because I am not a vegan. All I know is that I do not consume dairy, I don't consume chicken, I don't consume beef or pork or turkey. Sometimes, if I'm on the road and I can't find anything to eat, I will eat fish. I do still love fish, but I don't consume it every day. I think the last time I had fish was maybe 3 or 4 months ago. It's not something that I'm always into just because I feel like my system is not always acceptable to any and everything that I want to have. But I'm also just being optimistic. I guess I'm being real with myself because I know that I like to eat out with my husband from time to time and with my friends and family. And they're not going to always honor what I think that they cook everything in. So I just like to say that I like to be plant based. Some people might call me a vegetarian. Some people might call me a pescatarian, and that's all fine and good. But I mostly these days cook at home, so with me cooking at home, I'm definitely getting in the foods that I like to eat. I'll list some of the foods, or show you pictures of some of the foods that I consume and that I make at home, and maybe they can help you along the way. I started this journey at the beginning of 2017. I have been researching for years. Just I wasn't ready to go plant based, to be honest, and it really wasn't evolved the way it is now. And at that time, there were just things that I was kind of dealing with. And the way I came up under this is I was really following the Dr. Sebi way, and I just couldn't do it. Now, I'm not saying that I still won't go that route, and that's just the alkaline vegan lifestyle where you're basically consuming nothing but what is on his designated list. It's just a hard list to do. If you're a person that's at home and you don't have a full-time job, then it's probably a breeze for you. Some people might say, I work a full-time job, I have kids and everything else, but I I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't keep it 1,000. So just what I do works for me and also works for my husband, because when I started the journey, he was freaking starving. It was like he was scared to eat anything, and he was very just patient with me because he didn't want to sleep with me knowing that he ate certain things. He still will not sleep with me if he feels like, well, not to get graphic or anything, but he will still get a little tap 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 in, but he's not gonna go the full way, if I could say that. If he's known that he's ate some chicken or turkey, because he no longer eats beef, he never ate pork, and he really doesn't eat that much turkey or chicken. He's more on the pescatarian side than anything. But what we have, our system that we have right now works. So he might eat fish maybe twice out of the week, but most of the time, because I'm the one doing the cooking, he's eating what I like to cook and what I like to eat. Now, you can get wrapped up into, as you can see, I'm thick. And actually, I'm liking my size. I always like being a curvy woman just because, it's just different. And I mean, I'm team, we do our thing, is all I can say. But I can say that I'm not a big fan of like a lot of the newer fads because they like to choke Beyond Meats and Impossible Meats and soy this and soy that, and my system doesn't like a whole lot of soy, and I had to learn that along the way. So anytime I eat too much soy, I'm already feeling funny. With Beyond Meat and Impossible Meat, if I'm out of town and I'm doing something, yes, I'm going straight for it. But as far as a everyday meal, as far as me putting Beyond Meat in my spaghetti, as far as me eating Beyond Meat as sausages, I'm not comfortable with it, just having that every day, because I do think that you should have a meal that is just vegetable or whatever. If you have some rice or if you have some pasta, I'm not mad at that. But I'm just, as far as the Beyond Meats, there's still not a lot of research about it. And I just don't feel like it's something that should be consumed every single day. So beat me or get mad at me, but that's just how I feel. Um, I came to the point where I was still just sick, and it was a sick where it's almost like my body felt numb or something, but I could still feel those aches and pains. And when I would eat, it would hurt. And I have a cesarean scar across my stomach. And so I later found out, after having that surgery at 20 years old that you learned in my previous videos, I found out that it was a botched surgery. So I actually had to have more surgery to help fix that and fix what I was currently going through. So my body had been through so much. And so with that being that way, and me having endometriosis, my bowels and my bladder and my stomach, I couldn't eat a lot, or I couldn't eat much without feeling this queasy feeling, or just not a satisfactory feeling. So I said, well, let me try it out. Let me see. And I stuck with it because I just remember growing up, I wasn't that big into meat to begin with. Like, I would pick the stuff off of my pizza. If my family ordered a Supreme and they would eat the rest, I would basically just be eating bread and sauce and the little cheese that was left over. Or when I was getting older, I still wasn't big into all kinds of meats. So my grandma, shouts out to you, Grandma, we were over there all the time, and she made sure her baby was losing too much weight. Like, your girl was like, I was too small and I was already short. So she was like, something is wrong with her. And she found out that I would go to school all day and not eat. I would drink some juice. You can ask the people that know me from when I was a kid in middle school. I just didn't eat. I don't know what it was. I just wasn't happy with the options that they had, I guess. And then when I came home, my mom, whatever she cooked, if I didn't want it, I didn't eat it. I would eat some broccoli. I remember eating frozen broccoli and just putting me some sauce on it and going to sleep. And that's all I ate all that day. And, oh God, I'm making my parents sound horrible, but you know how it is. It's like, if you don't want it, oh well, you won't eat. And so, living in a black household, we were already trying to figure out how to make ends meet. So it wasn't like they were going to cater to me and figure out another way for me. My grandma just kind of figured that out along the way. She knew that I liked bread, so she always made sure to have like homemade fresh biscuits. I did like meatloaf, so she would cook that a couple times, or she always cooked something extra that she knew that I could eat because I wasn't eating anything else. So the whole transition thing wasn't that bad to me because I'm a size girl to begin with. I guess they call you, AKA Carby. But, that's the things that I like. I still like salad. I like beans. I love beans because my other grandmother, they had a garden. Her and my grandfather had a garden, and they would just pick vegetables and make us pick vegetables and bag them up, and we would eat those for the winter. It was a real smart move. I wish I had that whole intellect to garden. It's still on my wish list. But it really wasn't that difficult. The things I love the most are pork, bacon, chicken, not so much, because like the first day chicken was okay, but by the second day it was just this taste that I just didn't like. And you miss stuff, cheese, because I don't feel like I found any vegan cheese that I really liked. I do like a cashew cheese, but it's not like you could do a whole lot with it. As far as like making my mac and cheeses and stuff, I used to make a 4 cheese macaroni, and my husband used to love it. And now I'm trying to try these new recipes without the soy and without the dairy, and it can be challenging because it's like no egg, and egg, I didn't notice this, but I'm an egg girl, and egg makes everything taste good. I mean, you put it in your cake, you put it in your pies, you put it in your whatever's meatloaf, whatever, and it's a binding agent. It's just good. And without it, it's like, okay, what am I gonna try? They do have some other options that are good for people, but for me, it didn't work out. So I'm having to again go back to the drawing board with that. But what I noticed is that when I tried this journey, like to go to the bathroom, not to be gross, it didn't hurt. It was like it was easy. My stomach didn't hurt when I ate something. It was like the hunger, it wasn't like a whole lot of food caked up on my stomach. And I saw this years ago, and I wasn't sure about it. But I saw a saying that it was like you should live you should eat to live and not live to eat. And that's so true, because I remember Thanksgiving, pile on high, all the food I could hold, pass out on my grandma's bed because she had the softest bed, and then come back and get some more and take that plate to go so that I can pass out the next day and do the same thing. And I'm not hating on you. When Thanksgiving comes around, y'all better represent for me. Represent for me. Just because I can't have that turkey. I can't have that stuff. But I'm not sad about it though, because I still make things for myself around this time, and we get along just fine. Some other things that I noticed is just I just didn't feel like when I do get full, it's never that overwhelmingly full. It's just I'm good with it. It's good. I can feel full, and sometimes I'm like, okay, don't make me go back, because I feel like I could still eat again. And my husband takes full advantage of that. I could eat something and I'll be like, man, it's going to be good in the morning. Come back and be like, what the hell happened? It's all gone. And that's because, the food is light. It's airy. I make things like, and shouts out to Tabitha Brown, because she has been this segue that we all needed to help us when we were scared to try things. I was freaking scared to try carrot dogs. I was like, oh no, I don't even like cooked carrots like that. So no, that's out. And you're gonna need a community. So grab your best friend, grab your sister, and just ask them, say, hey, listen, can we try plant-based once a week and see how we like it? And you'll be surprised. You will be surprised. You will have people that actually want to try it with you. And so I still wasn't trying the carrot dogs. Let's just keep it real. But my sister, she's been a great advocate, and her and her wife, they've decided that they're going plant-based as well. So and they did this years ago, and I still wasn't on it, but we're now to a point where we're all kind of on this thing as a year and 2 years and 3 years. I mean, I haven't had meat since the end of 2016, and it's been fine. When I say meat, I don't mean fish, because it's funny when I even tell my family, I'm like, oh, well, I'm not vegan. I still have fish here and there. And they're like, so anyway, the vegan has a nerve to say something. So that's funny. But anyways, we're on a better route to it, and I just feel like if you have anybody who can be a support system, definitely try it out, because my sister was actually the first person to try the carrot dogs, and she said, hey, listen, you just got to try it, just see how you like it. So I followed the recipe. I changed up some things, because I used to love coleslaw, but I know that coleslaw has mayo in it, and mayo has egg in it. So I had to try a vegan mayonnaise, And I was scared because I was like, I don't know, I still don't feel like this is gonna be the good thing for me. And for the chili, I a black bean chili, and I also have a cashew cheese sauce. So I put the little cashew cheese, mixed it with the black beans, and I also made some vegan coleslaw and using vegan mayo. And then I put my own seasoning to it because I can't just have it regular. You know, we got to sauce it up a bit, get it back right. So I did that, and it's a hit. I mean, we've got to cook it at least once every 2 weeks in this household, else I'm going to get fussed out. And the person, again, who I didn't think would like my food, loves it. He actually, when he's out on the road and he's eating something, he's like, I wish I had just had my wife's cooking. I'd rather just eat that. And I'm like, who? You mean the cooking that you used to get before I turned vegan? He's like, no, I like what you cook. It's just that I'm trying to get used to not having meat too. And I had to understand that. So he's been a great support system. He loves carrot dogs now. I'll show you a picture. I have other recipes that we've tried vegan mac and cheese. My husband likes me to remix it and put vegan, kind of like a beefaroni type of deal. He likes me to put my veggie burger in it. I use Amy's, the California style. I use that for my spaghetti. I love it because originally I was making stuff out of walnut meat. And my husband doesn't like walnuts. He just doesn't. Like, even if I cook it, I like the flavor. He wasn't with it. So it's one of those things. Again, I said, I'm going to start to introduce it again, but I had to start slow. And so I've tried other things. I've tried vegan pot roast. We have different burgers you can try. Different French fries. There's so many different options. Believe me, if you decide to take this journey, it'll be more exciting than what you're used to, because you're used to having just these certain kind of foods all the time. And with vegan, you actually got to think about it. And another thing is you got to think about your milk. I stopped drinking milk maybe back in 2012. And I'm not meaning like without it being in other ingredients. Of course, I still had stuff like that, but drinking just straight up milk, yeah, I had to let that go. My stomach, I was feeling bloated. I would get nauseous, and when I went to the bathroom, it was just a complete mess. So I was like, nope, I would drink almond milk. Now these days I'll drink coconut milk, or I'll make hemp milk, and I love the hemp milk. It sounds disgusting, but all you're doing is soaking the seeds, and then you're putting like some type of sweetener. So you could put strawberries, you could put agave, or you could put just the agave and maybe a little sea salt, and it tastes great. So that's good that you could actually make that at home when things are tough. So, you have to be mindful of the milk. I talked about the cheese. I didn't feel any cheese that I liked. I still will make pizza, or I will get pizza. And my family laughs because they're like, who the heck is going to eat this pizza without any cheese? And so they get what they get, and I get what I get. And every time I get pizza, I gotta have me some jerk sauce. So I'll put jerk seasoning on my pizza, and it's good to me that way. I love it. My husband does it, and he loves it. And I think he loves it because he loves me, but to each his own. But that's not always true though, because like I'll make stuff with jackfruit and he might taste it for a few days, but he's really not into jackfruit the way I am. He loves mushrooms. He loves if I fry up mushrooms. The vegans call that the fake chicken. It's actually really good. He'll get mad if our mushrooms go to waste. He's like, oh my God, these mushrooms are too expensive to be playing these games, because they really are. Unless you can get to a farmer's market. I just went to the farmer's market today. Perkins Orchard, just letting you know, that's in Durham. That food is really good. The guy who owns it is all black owned, and they're just so welcoming. Everybody there, of course, he has a diverse amount of staff. Everybody is just really friendly, and I just like it because you can go and you can get a $20 bag, and you can fill it into your heart's desire. I have filled that bag into the rim, to the top, and they won't say another thing to you. They'll say, okay, did you get your free item? And so, I really enjoy that. Restaurants. It was difficult going to restaurants because it was always, could you take this out? Could you make sure I don't eat that? Could you do this? And so now I'm at the point where I just kind of do my own thing. I'm always gonna eat a salad. If I want potato, I'll just get a baked potato, and I'll just won't add the things that I don't want in it. If I'm at home, I can slather me some vegan butter on there, and whew, it's good. But there are just different things that you're going to have to watch out for. A lot of your family is not going to understand. My poor grandma, she is just angry with me. When she sees me, she's like, can you eat the greens? Please eat the greens. The last time I ate her greens was like 2018. I was so sick. Them greens were so good, but later I could have died because my body wasn't used to it. I haven't ate greens in a long time, and I didn't eat the meat out of it. I just ate the green part, but it was cooked in the meat, so you can imagine that my system didn't enjoy it. And that's the thing. You can go back and forth, but like I said, if you're eating meat like 2 or 3 times out of the week, it's not going to bother you. But being that I'm just strictly eating this way, it's hard for me to go back and forth. And a lot of times my family doesn't understand. They just feel like I'm being bougie. I'm like, I mess all this up over here. I tear all of this up. But my body just won't allow me to have it. So, just trying to have that support system, it will make you feel better because when the world is kind of not understanding you, at least you can go to people like your family and your friends who do understand and can help explain it to other people when you're afraid to. Other things that you might want to think about is the time frame that you're doing it. If you're completely stressed out, it might be, like I said, don't just jump in it. I jumped in, and I don't know how I did it. It was only the grace of God. But I don't know how I did it because I guess I was just so fed up with it. And I'm one of those people where if I'm unhappy with something, I'm trying to figure out how to get away from it. And people may never know that about me, but I'm always been that type where I'm never going to be that person who just is stuck in a situation. I'm in the back of my mind thinking of other options, other ways to help myself get to the next level. And so I guess when I was going through with it, I was just kind of reading everybody's testimonies, and I was like, man, this really could help out some things. Because the whole reason why I guess I've stuck to it this whole time is that, I don't want to be the person to bust anybody's bubble and make anybody feel like, oh, now she's trying to tell us what to eat and she's being judgmental. No. But I do know that being that I was suffering with the endometriosis, I was getting my hormones and the meat hormones. And I was like, okay, somebody hormones can't stay in my system because I can't make it. So that was the thing that helped me with the meat. And then I did kind of understand different things, which in my mind, I make it seem like that meat was bad for me. And that is the thing that has stuck with me. So I don't partake, but I'm not judging either. I wish that I could eat my grandma's food. Like, anybody that knows me, some of my ex-boyfriends right now might be watching this video, and no, you can't come back. They only love me because of my grandma's food. We have so many random people that come over there and they haven't seen us in years, but the first thing they say is, I want some of your grandma's food. So, that's difficult. And then my other grandmother, she's making all kind of cakes and pies, and she's so cute. And I'm like, no, grandma, I can't eat your food. And then her and my grandpa will say, well, that's all right. We got something for the garden. I'd be like, yes. Because, like, before when they used to give it to us, we would kind of side eye it. You might use a tomato or two, but for the most part, you wasn't doing nothing with it. Now, ain't nothing getting wasted up in here. Not no vegetables. So, that's the thing for us. And we're doing different things. It does not have to be boring. Because here's the thing. Everybody's like, well, with vegan, you're so restricted. You're not restricted, really. Really, you're just having to open your creativity. We grill out. We smoke our foods. We might fry up some stuff. It's really not boring at all. And it's actually, when you're going to a restaurant, I get more looks at my food than everybody else's, because they're like, oh my God, that looks so good. Ooh, I wish I had that. And it really is. My food is good. And now, it's funny because the same people that picked on me along the way are starting to do the same things. It's like, oh yeah, well, let me get some broccoli on the side, or let me get that. And I'm proud of it. I'm not judging you. I'm not hating. If I'm an inspiration, you don't even have to tell me I'm your inspiration. As long as you do what you need to do to feel better, I'm all good with it. And listen, I got a humble, what do you call it, a humble pill or whatever. I was never a mean person to begin with. I was the kind of person where if you did something to me, I did something to you. And it may not even be anything that you maybe even noticed. I may have just stopped talking to you because I felt like you didn't care enough to care about what I think. And so it was like I just kind of cut a person off. I'm to the point where I've got a humble pill. I don't care. If we had something going on, hit me up. Let me know. I'll be quick to apologize, because after you've been through all the surgeries that I've been through, lost your babies, after you've lost a parent, there ain't nothing else you care about. It's like your little beef, cool, take it. I don't care. Your attitude, my attitude, I'm sorry. And so, this whole journey has actually been really good for me, because I'm learning so much about myself and learning how to be. And I'm more, I guess the whole plant style is like, you're even different towards the animals. I'm talking to animals, I'm talking to plants, and I'm seeing reactions, and it's real cool. It's like, I found a journey, and I love it. It's like, it's just different. It's peaceful, no drama. It's just, it's a good feeling. And it's funny because even when you're feeling like you're eating terrible, you just look up and you can clean it up so quickly with being this way. I still like to eat chips, and I look on the back of the chips and I'll be like, Dad, this sodium's gonna kill me. And then tomorrow I'll be like, no chips. Nope, take that back. And so it's so quick to switch over. It's like you never left from it. You're all good to go. You can go back to being how you want to be Monday through Friday, or whatever you choose to do. I do like to stick to, again, the more natural version, even though I'm a thickums. I just feel like you can still get caught up in all these processed, whatever you call them. Processed food is everywhere. And a lot of people will still look at me and say, well, this is what I go with, and I'm not hating, do you? But, I'm just trying to think of other ways to have my foods besides always in a jar or a package or something I got to warm up. But I do make it fun. The one thing I didn't think I would like is cauliflower. they have cauliflower nuggets where they fry them up and they are supposed to be a chicken alternative. To me, it's not a chicken alternative, but it's really good. You put it with sauce, it's really good. It's one of those things where you could just put some fries with it and you think you really went out to eat. And believe it or not, a lot of restaurants sell it like that too. So you can get full real quick off some cauliflower. So, don't completely take it out. Don't completely say you wouldn't eat it. Even if you start with being a vegetarian, most people still will live off cheese. And you can just do cheese and vegetables that day and see how you like it. And, that'll determine how you go into. But this whole journey has actually been really fun for me because it also helps me with the potluck at work. And it's like, well, I made this, really want you to try that. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can't eat it. And it saves me because people don't like to wash their hands. People dirty at work. Why would I want you in your house, the one who picks their toenails? I'll never forget. I work for a company. If y'all know who I'm talking about, do not call me out. The lady, she was like, I made a cake. And I was like, nah, I don't want no cake. I wasn't a vegan at this time either. But by then I was like, no potlucks. There was one company where I could work out and we was like family. Everybody's like, hey, don't go eating that. This is who we eating this week. This is what we got. And so that's what we did. But after that, so anyway, back to my story. She said, yeah, I made a cake. My whole family has the flu, but I don't have the flu. So I stayed up and I made this cake. And I said, I'm not eating that cake. And she said, well, why not? Are you better than us? You think you're bougie? That's my nickname. Everybody think I'm bougie. I said, no, but I'm not eating that cake. And so the next day, her and a whole row of people that ate that cake was out having the flu. So yeah, I was like, yeah, your girl don't do that many potlucks unless, me and my old crew to get together, then we go eat a potluck. But other than that, no, not doing that. So yeah, I just want to give y'all some stuff. As I start moving forward into other weeks, I am deciding to do an ebook because I want y'all to be able to have something to just go to quickly and be able to reference stuff and, kind of understand your alternatives that you can try because, people that have been in this lifestyle for a while, we start to think that everybody knows everything because we know it. And I'm not even in this lifestyle that long, but I was well versed on the meats and stuff because, as far as meat, I wasn't so big on it, and I was on good on the dairy. As far as the milk, I had changed my milk long time ago. So I'm deciding to do an ebook, and I haven't wrote anything, so don't come at me today and tomorrow asking about this doggone book. But it's gonna come out, and I'm gonna tell you about the sea moss, how to make it, how to look for it again. Y'all been in my inboxes. Y'all afraid to comment, but that's all good. Because that just motivates me to keep going. I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to share my world. I was afraid. I was like, I don't know. Maybe people think I'm lame out here in these streets. But people are reaching out to me and they want to know little things to help them. So I'm here for you. You can always come to me. You don't have to put it under the post. You don't have to do what you don't want to do. You can come in my inbox and you can tell me what you want to know, and I'll be glad to help you, because at the end of the day, this is my mission. I used to ask God all the time. I was like, what does the divine want from me? What can I do? And, I just kept getting this premonition. It was like, you got to tell people your story. You got to tell people what you're doing, because everybody's not doing what you're doing and they're sick. And while I'm still getting better, I'm a whole listen. I'm riding the waves compared to where I was. I was not in a good place. I was damn near dead, and I know that a lot of y'all are damn near dead because you on all this medication, and this medication is barely keeping you alive. But you don't know which way to go. You don't know what you're doing with yourself. So I'm here to tell you, and there's things that we're gonna go over that maybe you even knew, but some of our family out here still don't know. So I'll do an ebook and we can talk about it and we can keep going, and we're going to learn a lot of stuff along the way. So just keep rocking with me. You might see something that you really will be interested. Next week, I'm not even going to tell y'all about questions and answers because y'all haven't been giving me them that much. It's not anything that I couldn't cover over the video. So next week, we're going into CBD, baby. And you want to learn about CBD because they got us all out here using Icy Hot. And no hating the Icy Hot because I like Icy Hot. But every day you rubbing Icy Hot, you don't know what's in it. I seen some stuff, no lie, it had kerosene in it. I was like, kerosene like gas? And petroleum, y'all. Petroleum is... in that tire stuff, I'm just saying about putting this stuff in your skin every single day. You got to wean yourself off. And CBD is going to help us out. And I'm going to tell you how. So tune in next week. Again, I thank y'all for coming and being with me for this time. I appreciate everything. Please follow me on Instagram at Miss L Loves Wellness. You can also like and subscribe to this video because we have so much more to come. Thank you guys and enjoy.
Hakuna sijua na kupenda umenteka vibaya, labda ueleze ufafanulie. Toto mwepesi nazungusha kama karatasi, basi siwe kesi, ipeleke kwenye utosi. Ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. You my controller, wambie kama wewe ni chombo cha dola. Sije kunipora, wakanifanya mambo yangu yakadorola. Ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba, ya moto mahaba. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo. Shuka chini, onyesha mjojo.